What's going on, everyone, and welcome back to my 31 and 31, and we made it to Devil's Night. Today is my 30th review, and fuck, I can't believe I got through all these. Like, to be honest with every one of y'all, when I took this 31 and 31, I was like, yeah. And then, man, halfway through, I was like, man, am I going to get through all these? And, man, I got through them. I'm on day 30, Devil's Night, and we're kicking it off with a good one today. We are kicking it off with the review of the Autopsy of Jane Doe. This is director Andre Overdahl. He also did Stories to Tell in the Dark, which I thought was a very good film. A lot of people didn't like it. I thought it was really good. And he also did The Last Voyage of the Demeter, which I have yet to see, which I want to see. I've heard good things. I definitely want to check that out. For actors, we're rounding out with Brian Cox. Everybody knows Brian Cox. You've seen him at least in one thing or another. He was in, I'm going to list off a bunch of stuff. He was in Red Eye, The Ring, X2, X-Men 2. He was in Manhunter as the original Hannibal Lecter before it was redone with Anthony Hopkins in Silence of the Lambs. Manhunter is based on the Red Dragon, which they went on and rebooted again with Ralph Fiennes, which I still like that Manhunter movie, original one. I think it's good. He was in Braveheart. He was in Troy. He was in Trick or Treat, which horror fans know him from, like me. Super Troopers. He was in Zodiac. Uh, Great films, all great films, great actor. And then we got Amelie Hirsch, who was in The Girl Next Door, which is what I know him from, Alpha Dog, Lords of Downtown, or Dogtown, and Speed Racer. This movie's dope. I'm not gonna lie. This movie's fucking dope. I like this movie. I like it even more yesterday when I watched it for today's review. Um, Starts off with a grisly murder scene. Great fucking effects. You got the fucking body just sitting there, just naked female. Like, what the fuck did this come from? Special effects on the cadavers is pretty fucking sweet. I love the special effects. It looks real. I love the look of the film. It's very gloomy, so they used a lot of grays and blues and mellow colors for the look of the film. So you get that gloomy look because we're talking about a morgue and dead bodies. So perfect look of the film, in my opinion. Lots of gratuitous nudity. Lots of nudity in here when it comes to Jane Doe. But it's not done in a sexual way at all. Like, you see the nudity and it's not like, hey, look at naked woman. Like, they filmed that scene very awesomely and very effectively to just show that it's just a dead body. And there's nothing sexy about a dead body. And I like the way they were able to do that. Um, Again, special effects were awesome, especially on Jane Doe's tongue, which they cut off. I thought that was really cool. I love how her skin has all the counter curses in it. I thought that was cool. I love how it turns into three movies in this film, and it gradually goes into. You go from a murder mystery film from the beginning to a supernatural horror film halfway through when you realize what's going on, and then it ends as a cursed film, so that, like, the curse goes on. Like, it's really cool. They got good jump scares. I thought the jump scares were really good. They were very effective. They didn't overdo it. They didn't predict it. Everything was done very well and very tight looking. There is an animal death in it. I didn't like that because I don't like animals dying unless you're in a shark movie, which, if you're a dog in a shark movie and you're swimming in the water and there's a shark in it and you survive two times, fuck that bullshit. You should be dead. Even though I don't want to see animals die, come on, let's be realistic. There's no way that dog is surviving twice. And I'm talking about that dog in Meg. He's like, that dog survived the end of the first one and the fucking second one. I was like, how the fuck does that happen? But anyways, I'm going on a tangent. So there is an animal dying, which is a cat, which is really fucked up, but very effective. Um, the message on the radio is one of the creepiest songs I ever heard. And then there's a message on the radio in the movie where it says, "You're not going anywhere." And then it kicks into this creepy kid, light and sunshine. And it's just, it's nuts. And again, we go into three different tones. We go in from a murder mystery to a supernatural horror to a cursed film. The violence in this film is great. The special effects is awesome. I loved everything they did with this film. Um, I love how it's mostly shot in one location and it's just that morgue. I love how what you find out is they tortured her as a witch and they cursed this poor woman to go through all this torture but not to die. And she gets her revenge by going after the people that try to fuck with her. Um, Very effective. Um, you feel bad for Jane Doe because you see her and she's a very young, female that doesn't look at over 22 years old. She's very young. Um, and props for the actress for playing Jane Doe to just be there completely full frontal nude in every scene she's in. Like props on you for that because if I was a female, I couldn't do that. I wouldn't want to be naked on film for everybody to see. Like she's exposed everywhere. Like it's insane. Um but again, this movie is really really hella dope. I don't know where it's streaming at the moment. I own the film just because a couple years back, when I was married, my ex-wife told me, let's check this movie out. This movie looks good. At first, I was like, nah, this movie looks like shit. I want nothing to do with this movie. And then my ex-wife was like, let's at least let's smoke, let's watch, and let's see if it's any good. If it's not, we'll turn it off. I said, all right. I ended up turning it on, smoking, and then watching it and loving every moment of this film. I've seen this film a few times. I love it every time I watch it. I even love it even more every time I watch it because I find something else I think is really great about it. Um, so I think everybody should definitely check this movie out. So if you can find The Autopsy of Jane Doe, I definitely say go ahead and watch it. I don't think you're going to be disappointed. It keeps your interest. And then you get the explosive ending where, they're like, how the fuck did these people die? Again, how did this happen again? Um, Really good film. If I had to rate this film, I would rate this film a perfect film. I think this movie is perfect from beginning to end. There's not one thing I find a flaw in it. Maybe it's just because I wasn't looking for one. I was just very excited about this movie and loving everything I'm watching. But I consider this a perfect film. So that's my review of The Autopsy of Jane Doe. We have one more review left, and that's tomorrow for Halloween. And I am ending on a very high note. The movie I am reviewing tomorrow is one of my other favorite traditional Halloween movies I watch every year, and that is Haunt. That movie is super hella dope, and it's about three people that go to this extreme haunted house, and they find themselves in over their head. So that is tomorrow's review. We are rounding that out. Also, coming as well this weekend, before the weekend, I'm going to try to get it filmed tomorrow with my buddy, Jedi Master Grady, aka Ryan Grady, my homie and co founder of Crimson Grady Productions. We are going to do a 3-part video. They're all going to be uploaded at the same time so you can watch all 3 parts, and it's going to be for Terrifier. We are going to be doing a watch tomorrow. We are going to be doing Terrifier 1, then we're going to be doing a review, then we're going to be doing Terrifier 2, and then we're going to be doing a review, and then we are going out to see Terrifier 3 at the AMC for my 3rd viewing. Ryan's first. He's never seen any of these movies. That's what's going to be great about him. For the first reaction, which I can't wait to get on camera. And then we're going to come back and we are going to film in my truck part 3 of that retrospective. If not, back to his house for part 3 to film it. And we are going to give where, at the end of part 3, we are going to give where our theories are going, where it's going to go. I can't wait to talk about it because there's so much I want to do. To talk about that because there's so much I feel is going to go into the Terrifier story that is still coming. So stay tuned for that. So we have lots of stuff still coming down. I also have the podcast coming soon. I will release the name of that podcast really soon. I'm still trying to tighten the name and title. So stay tuned for that. So until tomorrow for Halloween and tonight, if you're going out trick-or-treating on Devil's Night or getting into some mischievous shit, stay safe. Stay creepy, And always, always follow the rules of Halloween. And until tomorrow, for our final review, stay creepy, my friends.